Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. I'm sitting here by an ancient town in Nanning City. But that's not what this video is about. I just thought it'd make good backdrop for a video. And it's quiet here, a little bit of wind, so I'm not sure whether that's going to make a difference. But bear with me. What this video is about is a tale of two countries. I got the title from one of my subscribers that made a comment here yesterday, and it got me to thinking about the United States and China, and how they're actually making out in this day and age, how they're being operated, what's going on, the good, the bad, and the ugly about it all. You look at China and you see the growth. Like, I'm going to turn the camera around a little bit. Like, you see the growth and you see stuff like this basically all over the country. It doesn't really matter where you go into the smaller communities along the Vietnamese border, up north, the eastern seaboard is right off the charts as far as that goes. What was it? China pours more cement in 3 years than the United States poured in the 20th century. Think about that. And you get these leaders of what they call the free world, bashing the living bejesus out of China all the time. And they're trying to do the best that they can for their citizens, trying to build the country, trying to make it more prosperous, trying to do better, paving the roads, building subways and high-speed trains and high-rises and tourist areas like this, and trying to clean up the pollution, trying to pull people out of poverty, trying to educate more people, trying to do the right thing, and it's peaceful. And it's safe, and there's virtually no drugs, and if they do catch them, well, everybody knows what they do to them, and maybe that's why there isn't any, and it's a good thing for your normal working, tax-paying citizens of China. Then and China again, how many wars have they been in since? Let's pull 1776 out of my pocket, and all you Americans know what 1776 is, and they've been in very few skirmishes. Yeah, let's just go back to the Korean War. Yes, China was part of the Korean War, and they were on the side of North Korea against the Americans' side of the South Korea. Nothing happened, stalemate. Americans were in Vietnam. China helped the North Vietnamese. We all know who won that one. But occupying, the United States throws this rhetoric out about occupying places like Tibet, Hong Kong. Well, Hong Kong is China. Educating the Uyghurs in Xinjiang province. Just the idea that, South China Sea, let's not forget the Spratly Islands and stuff like that, where they're building islands on reefs and whatever. And China says, well, this has historically been our property. But then the rhetoric about occupying and taking and doing is coming from the United States, as be it a war, all but I think 16 years since 1776, or in some type of military conflict. Since 16 years, 16 or 18, I'm not quite sure, since 1776. So their whole idea of reality in the United States is based on a warring government, a warring country, a warring people, where China's more of a peaceful type of person, or peaceful type of government, or the people here. They just, they don't want to go down that road, where, the states just lately, occupying Afghanistan, occupying Iraq, occupying Syria, but over the years they've occupied Grenada and Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and they've occupied, and I think there's a map on the internet that I can pull up, and if I can find it, I'll put it in this video at this point, of all of the places that the United States has occupied. And like friggin' everywhere type thing. So when you get the rhetoric from the United States government saying, oh, China's occupying this, or China's doing this, or China's doing that, well, they're doing it on such a small scale as compared to what the United States has done over the last couple hundred years that it should be a non-issue, you'd think. But it's not the issue at hand. What it is, it's trying to vilify not just the Chinese government, but the Chinese people to the rest of the world. When you see the growth, the economic growth of China, China has become a scary thing for places like the United States and the UK, Canada even, Australia, not so much New Zealand, but New Zealand's in there. You got India. The idea that a country like China is growing at such a phenomenal pace. It's going to be not only the biggest economic power in the world, but it's going to be the largest military power in the world. It's going to be probably the only real superpower in another 20 or 30 years. Nobody has been able or will be able to compete with China in the future and at this point in time. I was watching, see, I get a lot of information from subscribers and people that comment on my channel, and I may not answer all the comments, but I do read every comment, and it takes me literally hours a day. I start early in the morning. I usually get up about 4:30 in the morning, and I go through a lot of this stuff. But somebody sent me a thing about automobile manufacturing over the last, since 1940 something, I think it was. And China didn't come on the stage until the early 90s. And now at this point in time, China is manufacturing about 3 times more vehicles a year than the United States. So if you take that into context, and automobile manufacturing in the United States is one of their largest businesses. Don't get me wrong, the deregulation, see, Trump is a dick, but when he treats people and treats countries around the world with tariffs, and I'm all this and I'm perfect, I know more about everything than you do, and all this other stuff, that's just rhetoric. That's trying to bolster him. He's a narcissist, and that's just the way it is. But his deregulation of the energy industry in the United States has been a bomb for the United States. They've made lots of money. Deregulation is one of the things, because government in the West is way too big. Canada could learn a lot from the United States when it comes to deregulation in the energy business to get our economy back and running. See, that's one of the things about China. They never went down that path. You think that there's a lot of regulations in China? There isn't, as far as that goes. The government makes decisions to bolster industry, to make money, to better the lives of the people in the country. Sure, in the past they've had pollution problems, but they're getting past that. They're finding more green energy. You see electric vehicles on the roads all over the place. Sam, my bike is one of them, but I was at a trade fair here, I don't know, about 3-4 weeks ago, where they were promoting electric vehicles, Wulin cars, actually. So, and you see them all over the streets. You see a more green area, more of this in the city. When I started coming to Nanning, the air was brown, especially in the wintertime. Now, the sky is blue. Well, not today. This is a rainy sort of, and it's, I don't know what day it is even. September 9th or 10th, and it's starting to cool down. It's starting to get a little bit rainy outside, and it's sort of nice because in the summer here in Nanning, it's hell. But the skies are blue. The roads are nice. The people are actually at work. The GDP is rising again, and COVID-19 is gone. Now you get the tale of the United States, where their GDP was down 30-some%. The Democrats and the Republicans hate each other. A lot of people say, well, I love the Chinese people, but I don't like the Chinese government. Well, the Chinese government is the Chinese people because over 90% of the people are okay and support and think their Chinese government is doing a good job. So 90%. In the United States, you got about 40%, and the other 20% are sort of fringy tree huggers or whatever you want to call them. But the Republicans hate the Democrats and the Democrats hate the Republicans. Half of the country out there hates the other half of the country. You've got COVID that's gone wild in the United States. There's really no solid, responsible government. There's mass shootings. There's people losing their jobs, people losing their businesses. There's tent cities all along the West Coast. There's homeless people. There's rampant drug abuse. There's suicides. There's a government that acts like they're high school bullies. There's all of these things that you see, and don't get me wrong, guys. I know you see it, and the rest of the world sees it too. But the big question is, why does the UK and Canada, Australia, all of these countries, even India, feed into this? It doesn't make any sense. And then they look at a place like China where, well, they beat the COVID rate off the bat. Their GDP is up 3.2% in the last quarter. People are back at work. I'm not wearing a mask. If I had to, I would. Businesses are thriving. The economy is good. There's no drug addicts. It's a safe place. There's no mass shootings. There's no riots. There's no looting. They did have riots in Hong Kong, and they just put in a security law that says you do that, you're going to jail, boy, and it basically stopped it. So that's what they need to do. In the United States, the riots and the unrest is being fueled by the President of the United States, for fuck's sakes. You know what I mean? Like, if that's the type of government, and the United States and the UK and Canada and all of these democratic countries, what they did is they figure, well, we can start wars, we can occupy countries in the name of democracy. Okay, well, what did they do? They all got together. I know these guys. They all got together and said, well, let's just replace religion with democracy, and then it's okay, because they're doing the same thing as the Brits did in the Middle Ages and the Crusades. Is for Christianity, we're going to go and fight the Muslims, and because we want to. We're better. Our religion is better. The way of our life is better. There's no other way to live than to be a Christian. Okay, now there's no other way to be to live other than be a democratic country, and we all know that's bullshit, because I've been living in China over 17 years now. Sure, a lot of it was off and on, but I've seen it grow. I've seen how safe it is. I've seen all of this grow, because when I started to come to China, none of this was here. So when you look at stuff like that, when you look at what is going on in a country like the United States, with debt coming out their yang, nothing to show for it, infrastructure out of the 70s, the people knowing tomorrow is not going to be as good as today or was yesterday. The job loss, the sheer knowing of things are getting worse and worse and worse. The infrastructure is going to ratchet. They can't get anything done. The government is ineffective because the two sides fight so much that nothing gets done. They spend all of their money on wars abroad because they want everybody to live exactly like they do, and everybody in the world now is watching this and saying, no, we don't want to live like that. We want to live like the Chinese are living now, and because they can see that the Chinese are doing so much better. They're not putting their money into war around the world. They're putting money into infrastructure to make it better for their people, and that's what it's all about. So when you look at the tale of these two countries, the United States and China, you have to look and say, what's safer? What's better? Is it all based on just one word, communism or democracy, 2 words? Is this what fuels the hatred in the world? Is this what fuels the wars? Is this what fuels everybody in the United States, except for the top 1 or 2%? Living in poverty, living in fear for their lives because of 3,000 shootings in a place like Chicago in a year. Southern California is no better. You get into places like Texas or New York, where holy frickin' moly, and the homeless and the gangs and the drugs and the penal system in the United States is big business. And is that the way of democracy? Is that what democracy was supposed to be? Or is communism the new democracy? No drug addicts, safe. I've never met a gang member in China. I'm sure that they do exist, but I've never met one. I've never heard of drug sales. I've never even seen a violent act in China in over 17 years. I see people working. I see the smiles on people's faces. I see kids going to school. I see kids going to ballet and English classes and music classes and stuff like that, on their own, by themselves, at 9 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night, with their little backpack and their little guitar or whatever in their hand, and they're walking there by themselves. Why? Because it's safe to do so here in China. The Chinese lives are getting better, while the Western lives are getting worse. And I think that's going to be a problem in the future. But I guess that's for another video. Anyway, the tale of two countries. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button, hit the bell. Don't forget to resubscribe. So close to 70,000 subscribers right now. Come on. Oh, and one of the things you're going to have to look forward to in the future is Matt from Gweilo Nation and yours truly, Gweilo 60, are going on a trip to northern Guangxi province, Sanjiang area. It's predominantly Dong minority area of Guangxi Autonomous Region, and we're going to be putting out some videos together, so that's something to look forward to. Anyway, oh, and never forget to put a couple bucks on the children's Patreon account. It's for a good cause. Poor rural Chinese children, they just need a helping hand, and we can help them. Help me help them. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye now.